That'll get their attention. Good morning. Hello. Hey, take a deep breath in. We're going to get started. We're going to have a little drum and chant and sing time to get us going. So there should be some drums and rattles and shakers and things probably on the altar in the center of the room and around a few other places. By all means, grab something to make some noise with, or just use your voice, or you can do this if you want, however you want to do it. So take a deep breath in. Many of us know this already. The chants are pretty simple. You'll catch on, I promise. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. We'll do this one more time. Well, at the full height of our power, this is the place, and now is the hour. We are a people at the full height of our power. This is the place, and now is the hour. And we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. And we recognize our sacred word. We have the power to transform the earth. Take a deep breath in and let it go. It's so good to breathe. We do our observe and interact practice now. So first we observe. Take a moment, look around the room, see who's here in the space with you, and then the interact part. We stand up, we say hello, let's greet each other, welcome each other into this space. Introduce yourself to someone that you may not know. For those of you who are viewing us online in YouTube and on Facebook, we are so grateful that you're here, and we want to know that you're here. So if you put your name and location where you're viewing from in the chat, we'd love to know that you're here. Welcome. everybody. Why don't you come back to your seats, stay standing, turn your attention up here, repeat after these folks. We're going to get started.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Good morning and welcome everyone to our Sunday morning celebration here at Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz. If you haven't already, please silence your cell phones and make sure that those aren't beeping on you. As a special welcome to those of you viewing on Facebook and YouTube, welcome and thank you so much for joining us this morning as well. Whether you are here in person or viewing online, welcome to the center. My name is Leah Simone Reed. My pronouns are she and her, and my ancestors come from Italy and Ireland.
And good morning. I'm Reverend Elisha Christopher. I am the spiritual director here at the center. As many of you know, my preferred pronouns are they and them, but you can call me whatever makes you feel comfortable. My ancestors on my father's side come from Ireland and Scotland, and on my mother's side from Austria and Holland. Enough about me and us. We have a lovely morning planned for you today. Reverend Grace Lovejoy is leading our spiritual practice. We have a practitioner, Sky Leona, in the back of the room holding us in prayer throughout the entire time we're here together. Our musical inspiration today is, as always, the CSL House Band, and also special guest Anahata Irada, who's been leading the Reclaiming Gratitude Retreat with the Dances of Universal Peace folks, have been here all weekend, and so this room is just steeped in prayer and dance and meditation, and so she's going to continue that energy by sharing it with us a little bit today. Our message is delivered to us today through Reverend Tamara Merrill. And do remember to stay after service for our potluck and social hour in the social hall, as well as our monthly experience of Dances of Universal Peace after the service in this room. Are we outside?
Not quite
will be here somewhere for Dances of Universal Peace today after service. Stay for that.
Just please know that we have practitioners and ministers available for prayer after service. Don't leave here with a heavy heart. And they also like to hear all about the good things as well. It's their joy to pray with you. You can also place a prayer request in the prayer box in the back of the room or send prayer to prayer@cslsantacruz.org.
Excellent. So we're going to read together out loud our mission, purpose, and vision, which is on those green half sheets you got when you walked in. It's also on the screen for those of you who are viewing us online or who can see that from the front half of the room. Let's read this out loud together and do so mindfully. Take a deep breath in, and let's speak this together. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone and all life on earth. We are a community dedicated to possibility.
Yes.
That's who we are.
And we stand with all the centers of spiritual living around the world, grounded in the knowing that the teachings of Ernest Holmes speak directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. For that reason, we are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Yes.
Unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality.
Yes.
Unambiguously in support of LGBTQ.
The whole alphabet.
All of it. Lives, and unambiguously in support of women being the sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices.
And so with that, I invite you to just take another deep breath in and feel the ground beneath your feet. We want to begin our morning by first acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awaswas-speaking Yupi tribe and the Alma Mutsun tribal band. Please join me in a moment of silence as we honor the ancestral and current struggle of the original peoples of this place. Thank you. And so we're going to get started. I'm going to invite you to stand up. On these green sheets are the words to our song we're going to do today, and I'm going to turn your attention to the band. Please stand and let's sing this together. Here we go. Come on up.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more, the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and needing us to shine its light as me, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. creation. God is creator that makes all things new and needing us to shine its light as me, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Needing us to shine its light, needing us to shine its light, needing us to shine its light as me, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do, all that I must do, all that I must do.
Thank you. Thank you guys. You guys sounded great. Thank you.
My name is Reverend Grace Lovejoy. My pronouns are her, she, and my ancestors come from Ireland, Scotland, England, North Germany, and Denmark. I'm a little nervous. It's bizarre because I get to tell you what I do, and also let you figure out who I am. So these are the things that I do. First, on the physical plane, I have been a massage therapist for more than 35 years. I've been a trigger point myotherapist, which is musculoskeletal pain relief, for 30 years. And on the emotional plane, I'm, well, personally all over the map today. But in reality, if you have emotional difficulties, I'm a licensed religious science practitioner. That's what I am first, foremost, and always, all day, all night, 24/7, 365. I'm a licensed practitioner. In addition to that, I'm also licensed and ordained minister for the Centers for Spiritual Living, which means I did a lot of mental work to learn about all kinds of spiritual practices throughout the world, and how much they all mean the same thing. It's this: do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. That's pretty much it. We spend a lot of time talking about it every week. It's the same message, you know it, but it's fun to be here, isn't it? And what I do for the fun of it is I have reading groups on Zoom nowadays. I do love Zoom. It saved our sanity, I'm sure, during this pandemic. And what we do in my reading groups is we get together once a week for about an hour and a half, and we read a book out loud to each other. You don't have to read it. There's no homework. There's nothing that happens. And we spend a lot of time going off on whatever tangent that I drag people off on, and they drag me off on, which means it can take a very long time to read a book. But that's okay, because the books that we're choosing to read have been rather life-transforming. And the reason I'm going on and on about this is it's a very fun thing that I do every week. And it's it's opened my mind, or my possibilities, because I get feedback from everybody. For instance, we've read, these are the books I make everybody read. Robert Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land. Raise your hand if you've read it. Leave your hand in the air if you've read it more than once. That's it. If you haven't read it with your religious science eyes, it's time to reread Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land. I also read Braiding Sweetgrass. Raise your hands. Yay. If you haven't read it yet, it's a life-transforming book. Recently, we read Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Yeah. And it was very difficult to read out loud. The N-word appears in it all the time. He's speaking dialect, and it's ugly to speak. And we read that book out loud. It was transformative. We also followed that with To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah. Do you know that in law school they recommend that book? It's how to be a lawyer, moral and upright with high ethics. That's what lawyers should be. That's what ministers should be. Just saying. So those are the things that I do. I can help you heal your physical body. I'd be happy to help you heal your mental and emotional bodies. And I would be delighted to have you join me in one of my reading groups. Ask me. If we don't have one going in a time slot you want, maybe we'll start one. If you have books you want to read out loud with other people, give me some suggestions. I'd love to hear what you have going on. And I had something else really important. I wonder what it was. Oh, well. So the other thing is, whoever it is that you think I am, who the heck do you think I am? That's what you're here to find out. My job for the next, I don't know, rest of my life, I think, is to fall in love with everybody. Not all of you are easy, I just want you to know. And that's all I have to say about me. But I do have something to say about how we work in the world, and that's by beginning always in prayer. And I'm going to do that first by just getting your attention as you follow these sound waves down as deep as you can get. Put your feet on the floor so you are grounded as an earthling, and let me take you into prayer. There is one thing, the absolute. Other than that, there is nothing. Everything is included in it, including us. There is no thing that is not God. Because of that truth, it means that when we come together, we have an opportunity to change the planet and to change the cosmos. So we open our minds and we open our hearts and we open the way we live to accept, to acknowledge, and to be prepared to be of service in all the realms of this beautiful planet, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We are here for each other's well-being, hearts wide open, ready to become the thing we are looking to see. Knowing all of that is true, I allow this particular day to unfold in its most glorious blessings and benefits. We are a blessing to the world, and we're going to act like it from now on. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for
center. I completely acknowledge and honor everything that I've heard so far. It is my dear friend Adora that invited or suggested that I do a couple of pieces for you. It's normal for me to be in the center of a circle and singing, so this is a little unusual for me. But what I'd like to do first is a song that yet doesn't have a dance, and it was inspired when I was creating the curriculum for a Christian unit when in the study of the dances of universal peace, particularly Christian mysticism. And I started with a phrase of Brother David Stendelrust: the root of joy is gratefulness. And I continued with this phrase with a Sufi acknowledgement that says, Ya Shakur, Ya Shakur. This is the most beautiful name of Allah in the form of gratitude. And then I continued to bring in the Jewish tradition with a word that means Yehuda. It was when Leah gave birth to her third son, she said, Yehuda, I'm so grateful. So we have the Christian tradition, we have Islam, Sufism, and we also have the Jewish tradition. And there's a chorus that you can easily join in with. It has the atmosphere of celebrating gratitude, where we sing lai, 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 over and over again, in the form that in the Jewish tradition we call nigun, which is a wordless melody that only ourselves and God understand. So we'll proceed to share this piece of music with you. It's already on. It hasn't gone anywhere. Nothing has changed. Did it come? Okay. So in this beautiful week of Thanksgiving, where we've had our Thanksgiving meals surrounded hopefully by family and friends, see if you can feel that in your bodies, that taste, the deliciousness of gratitude. The root of joy is gratitude. Ya Shakur, Ya Shakur. The root of joy is gratitude. Ya Shakur, Ya Shakur. Yahuda, Yahuda. of joy is gratitude. Yashakur, Yashakur, Yahuda, Yahuda, for all the birds. Yahuda, for life. Yahuda. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. And welcome on this long holiday weekend. I am very thankful that you chose to be here with us in community. My name is Reverend Tamara Merrill. So, we're talking about gratitude. And one of the things that I came to understand this week as I was looking at different quotes about gratitude was that gratitude is the act of receiving. And if attitude is the act of receiving, if we want more love, more abundance, more of the good stuff, it starts with being able to receive. With receiving comes vulnerability, which is a scary thing sometimes. We are afraid of vulnerability. It exposes us. But without it, we're not exposed to creativity, to joy, and to love. This week, I found myself looking at what it's like to go down a dark rabbit hole of non-gratitude. I found myself in the complaint department many times this week, and it was very crowded down there. I made a lot of friends. And when I saw what I was doing, I was like, ouch. My little angel of gratitude was trying to touch my awareness of a spiritual reality that coexists along with my thoughts of insanity that goes on in my brain. How many people think that sometimes their thoughts make them insane? Oh, good. Another crowd of good company. And I was like kind of beating myself up for it. I found like, I went to buy some groceries and I was like, one little bag, and I go, $93? Oh my God. You know? Made a lot of friends in line talking about that. How the world is, the way the world should be, according to Tamara. And I realized that in order for us as a whole to take our spiritual tools to make a world that works for everybody, we have to change our heart and minds. And we are going to be in states that do not promote spiritual bypass. Oh, everything is good, everything's love, everything's peace. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on. And there's a lot of suffering going on. How, as spiritual warriors, do we battle suffering? How do we battle our own suffering and our own insane thoughts going down dark rabbit holes? I know that spiritual practice, as Elijah has said, are so important because we want to tip those balance, as he said last week, to have that 51%, so that it strengthens our ability for gratitude. It's really interesting how gratitude is being thankful for what we have, and that creates more because it is the idea that your abundance is already here. And what about if we looked at that circumstances had nothing to do with our happiness, but our perceptions? I'm even asking you to go a little deeper than beliefs. I'm talking about how we perceive the world. So right now, before I go any further, I want to invite you to know that you are only one breath away from being in the present moment and being grateful. Small little practice. So I invite you right now to go a little deeper with me, to take 3 breaths, and we will be a moment away from being in the present moment of gratitude. So let's all breathe together. In, hold, and release. Breathe in, hold, and release. One more time. Breathe in, hold, and release. Neuroscientists say that's really all we need to do when we're in conflict, to change our perception, to change where our thoughts are heading. I was watching very little spiritual TV this week, which I usually watch a lot to prepare for my talk. But I was watching a lot of comedy this week, and it was really enlightening. I was watching this podcast with Cory Booker, one of our 4 African-American senators in the Senate, and I love him. He's wonderful. And he was being interviewed by Jon Stewart, who's a great activist and has done a lot of work in government through his loud and active voice for veterans and healthcare and many other things. So this story really moved me because as they were speaking in this podcast, Cory Booker kept stopping Jon Stewart. And Jon Stewart goes, well, the right, the left, the Republicans, the Democrats. He said, stop. In the kindest way. He said, I'd like you to refrain from that language. I don't use that language. Jon goes, okay. He said, that's separatism. He said, we're here for humanity, for the good of humanity. Now, isn't that a refreshing thought that a senator would say, I'm here for the good of humanity? To not speak in a language of them and us. It's dividing. It's separate thinking. It's not committed to the idea of humanity being in oneness. And it was like, wow, he's having this man reframe his language because he wants to live in a world that isn't separate. And so as he was talking about his mentor, John Lewis. And if you don't know who John Lewis was, he was one of the senators, one of the 4 African-American senators in Congress who passed away not too long ago. And he was in the civil rights movement with Martin Luther King. And he always said, when you're an activist, you're in good trouble. and that was the young activists from the Black Lives Matter and many other movements were talking about good trouble. But the thing that's saying to my heart and I might get a little teary-eyed about this, was John Stewart was taking Cory Booker under his wing, and they were doing this week-long road trip to different states. When they came back, Cory Booker was walking in to Lewis's office, John Lewis's office, and there was this picture of this man and a older Caucasian man with his grandson or son, and John Lewis. And John Lewis says, I put this on my wall to remind me of my humanity. And he starts to tell a story about one day when he came to work, maybe 10 years ago, that this gentleman came in with his grandson, and he hadn't gotten into the office, and his administrative secretary said, I'll have to ask, Mr. Lewis, if you can have time with him. And so the administrative secretary went to him and said, so-and-so's at the door, he'd like to come in. And John Lewis's face dropped, and he said, of course, of course. The man came in with his grandson, and he stood there. And he was the man in the 60s, during the civil rights, who was one of the Ku Klux Klan men who cracked open his skull and almost killed him. And he was standing there with his grandson in the most vulnerable place and asked John Lewis, will you forgive me? Will you forgive me? And John Lewis said, of course. And the two men hugged and sobbed in each other's arms. That is transformation of the heart and the mind, transforming from hate to redemption. How do we get there? We can't force that. We can't kill it. We have to have compassion. We make others our enemy. It's so easy to do. When someone hates you, how can you hate your hater? Elijah just shared that with me earlier. How do we hate the people how do we not hate the people who seemingly talk about hating us? Whether you're a person of color, whether you're a person that isn't of color, whether you're LGBTQ, how do we conquer that feeling? And Senator Cory Booker said, he said, what John Lewis shared with me is we conquer it with courageous empathy. Courageous empathy. Because it takes courage to transform things. It takes courage to rise above hate and pain and suffering. And it begins in our own hearts and minds. In order to get out of anything, we must go in. So when we think about polarization and language of them and us, it's so easy to be angry watching Putin and the people who are suffering, to watch the things of the bad seeds that we carry in us that are watered to give suffering onto others, because it is so much easier when we are suffering in pain to express that pain on someone else. It's much harder to go in with our own pain and deal with it. And the insanity of the way we hold things, our righteousness. So that really moved me, because it is our work. It is our spiritual tools as a spiritual warrior conquering the ego mind. Because the ego keeps us in this illusion that if only people thought like we did, the world would be such a better place. If they only thought like me. Thank God they don't. That's what I say. Reflecting a little bit. And I thought, you know what? I love lilies. I'm a lily girl, right? But what happens if what we think we want to homogenize the world is not what it's about? We scream and shout about diversity, but then we get angry when it doesn't show up in the way we want it to. We're mad at the universe. I have a friend here walking around. We get mad at the universe when it doesn't show up the way we want it to. Why isn't the universe doing what I want it to do? How come I don't have what I want? Doggone it, you know? And the funny thing is we think we know better than the spirit of life, the essence. We think we know better than the thing we believe, whatever we want to call it, God, universal spirit, infinite intelligence. I know better. I know what's right for me. I know I'm right. What happens if, or I don't know if, what happens is when we turn towards spiritual reality and we talk about a world that works for everyone and all life on earth, that the tools that we show up with is about being in the present moment and looking at possibilities, possibility conversations. So I was challenged a few minutes later after watching that. Of course, thank you, God, right? And my brother from Brazil calls. He's been there, he's 73, he just turned 73 this weekend. He's been there for 50 years, and his wife's Brazilian. And he was in a panic, and he told me, Tamara, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you. And my brother and my politics are very different. And Lula just won, and he is the left, what we would call the left wing in Brazil. And he goes, it's really pretty difficult there, and what I realized too is that the whole world is in an uproar in politics and governance right now, all over the world. It's not just us in this, debate, and they're blowing up cars. 4 million people are on the streets protesting that the election wasn't fair. Ever heard of that one? And everybody's angry. And after listening to Cory Booker, I was like, okay, Tamara, don't jump into your politics, don't jump into your ideas, just deeply listen, And I couldn't do it for the first moment. He's my brother, I pushed my buttons, and I jumped in and started arguing with him. And he goes, wait, you're not listening to me. And I was like, the little angel on my shoulder of awareness said, she's right. Started listening to him. And we started talking about some really difficult subjects. And he started talking about teaching gender fluidity in the schools and blah, blah, blah. And I said, stop, you're not gonna like this, but I need to stop you. Let's talk about possibilities. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, what happens if what's happening right now is we're born into this construct of reality. How many people voted, I know I didn't, to be born into this society to look as it does? Maybe we chose to be born, but I don't know about all the constructs of this reality. When you think about it, who said that men can't wear dresses? Who said that men can't be nurturing? And who said women can't be fierce and powerful? And I recognized, I couldn't wear pants to school until I was in junior high. There were social constructs that we have been born into. And I believe what is happening, and I was listening to this physicist and a neuroscientist talk about gender fluidity is really about a shift in our consciousness, trying to break the constructs that we've been born into. And it's coming out with not good or bad or judgment, it's coming out in the physicality aspect of it, especially in the younger people. But what it's really trying to say, I think, is that we're evolving. Yes. And we're evolving very quickly. Now it's not just about girls wearing pants. I remember Marlo Thomas singing a song that boys can play with dolls too. I remember that. It was 1975. And there was this big thing. My kids aren't going to play with dolls. My sons aren't going to play with dolls, you know. And the constructs that we just normally accept are from a survival base of our ego that was needed for whatever that time and space was. But now we're talking about possibilities and the fluidity in consciousness that maybe we're growing and evolving because we're going out in space. We may meet some other life forms. Can we not understand that if life is infinite and there are infinite universes, that we are not, hopefully not the only semi-intelligent beings in the universe, right? Hello. And so what happens if it's preparing us not to identify so much with these preconceived, preconstructed ideologies, including our politics, including our belief systems, because they're polarizing us. You know, I think about all the time when Cory Booker was talking and John Lewis said about Senator Hubert, I hope I got his name right, who's a Republican senator, and John Lewis had made a joke about him, and Cory Booker goes, I want you to know something, that hurt me deeply. And John Lewis said, why? He said, because Senator Hubert is one of my friends, and I love him deeply. And we have passed bills for children, the child credit tax, the foster care program. He goes, he is a good man. We don't see eye to eye on all the policies, but he's a good man. We forget our humanity of these other people that don't think and talk like we want them to, or that share our ideologies, right? And it was beautiful to hear someone talk about reaching across the aisle in the name of humanity, in the name of spiritual evolution, in the name of raising above who we think we are in these limited identities and limited belief systems, because trust me, belief systems are not laws of the universe. They are just as convoluted as the next one, because we don't have all the information. We're growing. Can you expect a 5-year-old to do algebra? No, they're not there yet. And in a way, I think in our evolution, in 100 years, people are going to go back and pretty much laugh at us and say, whoo, those guys were primitive. Oh, one step away. But that's the point. We lose our humanity. We lose our humanity. How do we get that back? We get that back by the recognition that there is more possibilities than what we think we've got going on. And to me, that's super exciting. One of the things I also watched was David Chappelle, which he's been, you know, a lot of anti-Semitism, it's gone up like 50% in the country recently. And he went out and did a comedy sketch, and some people got really upset. And afterwards, he said something that was really remarkable to me. He said, you know, policemen, I empathize with them. They go out there, they feel like there's a target on their back. People don't like them just because they're wearing the uniform. And he goes, I understand that. He said, white, brown, he goes, people go out and they're judged by the color of their skin, whether it's white or black or brown or Asian. And he goes, and it's sad. And he goes, I understand that. He said, the difference between me and you, and he was talking to the commentator, he said, is that I don't hate the people who hate me. I hate the feelings. I was like, wow, I hate the feelings. And in that, it made me think, in order to change our feelings, we have to work on courageous empathy for ourselves and for humanity, and find ways that we build bridges to uphold the possibilities of being human. Thank you.
What an exquisitely woven piece of art that you just gave to us. And I think my only response to dovetail into the next piece of music is to say that one of the ways that we can explore the possibilities is through nature, because nature is the law that really governs us. And I also lived in Brazil for quite a long time and have many wonderful experiences there. And one of them was in Salvador. Just outside of Salvador, there was a community dedicated to working together with the Quilomboas. Have you heard of those? These are the black African communities that right from the time of slavery were never taken by the white people. They managed to preserve their integrity and their history, their customs, and their practices. Very beautiful. And this shaman called Alba Maria was dedicated to supporting them. She went on a trip to Peru where she wrote this piece of music, which she shared with me and with other people. And the only word that you really need to understand is the very opening, which is Iracocha, which is the Quechua word for Great Spirit. And then there's a chorus again, which is Nina Una Waira Pachamama. I don't know if it got on the board, but Nina Una Waira Pachamama is calling for the balancing of the elements, inside and outside, which is really one of our jobs. One day I asked Iracocha who I am, where I'm coming from, and where I'm going to. And he gave the most beautiful answer, that you might give to your beloved. I came with the wind, I came with time, I came with the waters. Love has called me, love has called me. I came with the earth, I came with fire, I came with the birds. to your beloved.
Anahata and Vanessa, thank you so much. And remember, you can get these folks after service in the Dances of Universal Peace that will be here today. I'm going to invite the band up. I want to say thank you, Reverend Tamra, for that message today. Got a lot to think about. So this is our time for our sacred giving, the opportunity we get to invest in this community to support all that is unfolding and growing around here. And so if you feel inspired this morning, compelled to give, please pull out those gifts if you want to just place a hand near your heart and be in the gratitude. And I also express extra thank you to all of those of you who give regularly automatically online. It just makes things so easy. So if you will, hold your hand near your heart, repeat after me. For all that I am, for all that I have, for all that I give, for all that I receive, I am truly blessed. And I am grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And so let us each just take another deep breath in as we remember how truly blessed we are. I first and foremost just speak my word of gratitude for every gift given that makes this community what it is and allows it to be what it is becoming. For every financial gift, for all the gifts of time, talent, and energy, all that makes us who we are, I am grateful. And moving from that gratitude, I then just simply speak a word of blessing on all of the prayers that are on the hearts of the people in this space, on every prayer request that has come into our practitioner and minister team, for all that we are holding for this community, for each other, and for our world. I just speak a word of blessing on all of it. And so let us just take this collective energy that we've built in this place today and use it for this time of activation. And so for anyone who's seeking healing in the physical body in any way, I invite you right now simply to stand into your willingness to receive that wholeness into your body temple. For anyone who's seeking healing in the areas of abundance, prosperity, or finances, I invite you right now to stand into your willingness to receive that outpouring of good into your life. For anyone seeking healing in the areas of love, relationship, or forgiveness, I invite you to stand right now into your willingness to open to that love. And to all of us who are willing to recognize that the work is ours, to stand into the willingness to be the place where deep compassion, empathy, and love awaken. Let us stand into our willingness to be that shift in the world. And then here in this place, if there is anyone on your heart and mind that you want to hold in today's collective energy, I invite you just to speak their names out loud right now. And so we just take all of this and so much more and pour out our gratitude into this moment in time, taking a deep breath in, letting a smile wash over your face, and place a hands on your heart. Let us be in the gratitude, remembering how truly blessed we are. I am grateful. And so we just let it be. And so it is. Thank you, friends. Have a seat. Leah, come on up. Let us take this away. All right, so friends, as you may or may not know, we are in the midst of our time that we are calling our Count Me In campaign. This goes through our season of harvest, and this is our Invest, Engage, and Enroll. Leah, tell us a little bit about that.
So when you came in, you probably got this little handout, this little three-part thing. Our Invest, Engage, and Enroll Count Me In campaign has Invest, Engage, and Enroll. The invest part is if you would like to become a monthly investor in our center here. That's this card. And that can be any amount, large or small, that helps us know our what we have every month. It's wonderful to put in the plate as it goes around, but if you're willing to be a monthly investor, that really helps us. You can put these cards in the blue bowl in the back. Invest, Engage is our, you have this little sheet, which talks about doing service here at the center, whether it be party planning, helping in the office, helping in the kitchen, anything. And there's even a space for you to put your own special skills and talents in case we missed any. You can fill this out. You can give it to Becky in the social hall. She's our volunteer coordinator, and we'll get you engaged here. And then we have Enroll, which was our membership class that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yep, and we have, I think we have 13 new members who we are going to introduce to you next Sunday. So those of you who are at the membership class, you'll get a little email from me later. But next week, we're going to introduce those people and welcome them into this community as a group.
Yes.
So we'll do that next week. I want to invite up Reverend Grace to come up very briefly.
I'm going to say one more thing.
Yes, as Reverend Grace comes up.
As Reverend Grace comes up, I will be in the social hall after service. So if you want to go ahead and set up your monthly investment today, I have my computer to help you do that right there on the spot.
Excellent.
Okay.
So each week, as we've been going through this Invest, Engage, Enroll time, different folks have been coming up and telling you a little bit about why they like to participate here. And Reverend Grace said, I have a very special gift that I want to give this community, and I'd like to do it on a Sunday. So Reverend Grace has a little something to share with us. Let's keep it brief. Thank you so much.
Hand the minister a microphone and say, be brief. Okay, so I did a favor for a friend one time, and I got paid in a gold coin. And I have been saving that, actually hiding it away, because like Smog the dragon with the treasure, because it's valuable, it's small, it's portable, and it's useless. Until I spend it, it's nothing. I can't get it out of the dang little bag.
Oh, I'll get it. There you go.
Thank you so much. It's a collector's coin. And I would like to give this on behalf of Synthesis Fellowship. I already tithe on the auto tithe for the Center for Spiritual Living. But Synthesis Fellowship has changed my life in a pretty dramatic way. And I want to support that as well because I also know that it supports Centers for Spiritual Living. So, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And so one way to show that you can give in any way that you feel so compelled. If you have treasure buried in your backyard, bring it on over. We'll take it. So lots of ways to get involved. We have a couple announcements we want to run through really quickly before we let you go. Leah's going to tell you about the Artisan Boutique.
Upcoming this weekend, the 3rd and the 4th,
weekend.
we have our, we are this, so next.
Next.
Yeah, okay. The 3rd and the 4th, we have our Artisan and Crafters Boutique, and I got to tell you, we have some really cool artisans and crafters that have signed up. and I'm personally myself so excited to shop at this. And I'm going to be selling some jigsaw puzzles, which I didn't
come
make.
shop next
So
weekend.
come
It'll be
shop.
so much fun. We want to remind you, do save the date. Do get your tickets. 12/16. That is our holiday party. If you were here for the holiday celebration last year, just raise your hand. How much fun did we have? It was so much fun.
And one little quick thing. We are meeting tomorrow at 12:30 because I know on these Engage things there are some people that signed up to want
Party planners, we need you.
12:30 here at the center. We're going to be party planning.
All right, also keep on your mind that on Wednesday, the 21st, is winter solstice. We're going to have our candlelight winter solstice service ceremony here that evening. Do be here for that.
I think we're getting music off.
Do check your e-news. There's lots of stuff happening here. Thanks to those who brought food today. Next week, if your last name starts with A through F, bring some food next week. Thanks to everyone who had all the things to do with service this week. Come on up, we have a closing song. Here we go. Stand up, let's celebrate. Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday, everybody.
There are times in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was consistent. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it go. And this is what I have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm